Hi everyone, welcome to Tech Academy. In this video, we are starting with Bootstrap. I'm sure in previous videos, you guys have learned about CSS and everything that CSS contains. So we're going to continue the journey from here, in which we are starting with Bootstrap 5. Bootstrap. So this is the get started part, which is a comprehensive guide to building modern responsive web experience. Let's move to the next part. So it says, what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is a free front-end framework for faster and easier web development. Bootstrap includes HTML and CSS-based design templates for typography, forms, buttons, tables, navigations, modal, image carousel, and many others, as well as optional JavaScript plugins. We have Bootstrap also gives you the ability to easily create responsive designs. So we have what is responsive web design. Responsive web design is about creating websites which automatically adjust themselves to look good on all devices, from small phones to larger desktops. Let's move to the next part. So we have this one, which says my first Bootstrap page. This was created with Bootstrap. We have 3 columns here, as you can see. So we'll create an example on that. Let's move to the next part. So we have the Bootstrap version. So it says Bootstrap 5 was released 2021 in the newest version of Bootstrap. And the newest version of Bootstrap was released 2021. And this was released 2013, which with the new component, faster style sheet and more responsiveness. Bootstrap 5, so we have Bootstrap 4, we have Bootstrap 3. So Bootstrap 5 supports the latest stable releases of all major browsers and platforms. However, Internet Explorer 11 and down is not supported. The main difference between Bootstrap 5 and Bootstrap 3 and 4 is that Bootstrap 5 has switched to vanilla JavaScript instead of jQuery. So we have a note that is Bootstrap 3 and Bootstrap 4 is still supported by the team for critical bug fix and documentation changes. And it is perfectly safe to continue to use them. However, new features will not be added to them. That is that for that. Let's move to the next aspect. So we have why use Bootstrap. Advantages of using Bootstrap. It is easy to use. Anyone with just basic knowledge of HTML and CSS can start using Bootstrap. It's not hard. We have responsive features. That is, Bootstrap's responsive CSS adjusts to phones, tablets, and desktops. We have mobile-first approach. In Bootstrap, the mobile-first style are part of the core framework, and we have browsers compatibility. Bootstrap 5 is compatible with all modern browsers, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, and Opera. Note that if you need support for IE 11 and down, you must use either Bootstrap 4 or Bootstrap 3. So let's move to the next part. So where to get Bootstrap? I would show you there. So there are 2 ways to start using Bootstrap 5 on your own website. You can include Bootstrap 5 from the CDN, and you can download Bootstrap 5 from getbootstrap.com. So this is the CDN part. You come here, you search for Bootstrap. So once you click on it, so this is the CDN. Let's go. So this is the CDN aspect, that is, let's copy it. Let's start with our particular aspect. So you come to your code. After your style sheet, you post it here, Alt Shift F. Then you also copy the next one, which is for the script. Then you also post it, Ctrl V, Alt Shift F. So this is the first thing you need to do with you making use of Bootstrap. This is the first aspect. So now let's move to the next part. We are done with this like that. So we have the Bootstrap 5 CDN. If you don't want to download and host Bootstrap 5 yourself, you can include the CDN, which we just did. That is Content Delivery Network. That is JS Delivery. Provides CDN support for Bootstrap, CSS, and JavaScript Max CDN. One advantage of using the Bootstrap 5 CDN is that many users already have downloaded Bootstrap 5 from JS Deliver when visiting another site. As a result of it, it will be loaded from cache when they visit a website, which leads to faster loading time. Also, most CDN will make sure that once a user requires a file from it, it will be served from the servers closest to them, which also leads to the faster loading time. So that is for the CDN. So we have the JavaScript. Does it use JavaScript? Bootstrap uses JavaScript for different components like modals, tooltips, and popovers. However, if you just use the CSS part of Bootstrap, you don't need them. So this is another format of downloading Bootstrap 5. If you want to download Bootstrap 5, you go to HTTP. So let's copy this link. HTTP and get Bootstrap and follow the instructions. So let's do that. So this is another means of, it's still the same thing. Then you can install it or you can download it. You can click on download and you can download it. You can install it through your terminal as a package, and you can download it, and you can also make use of it through CDN parts. I hope you get that aspect. So you can, this is another format again. Create and extend utilities. Use Bootstrap Utility API to modify any of our included utilities or create your own custom utilities for any project. But the best one for, since you are still like learning more, when you move to JavaScript, you learn how to use more of it. So you see the script aspect too that we downloaded is majorly for JavaScript also. Let's read this part. It says when you only need to include Bootstrap 5's compiled CSS or JSS. So this is for CSS, this is for JavaScript. So in case you want to write JavaScript in your code, it can work. You can use JS Deliver. See it in actions with our simple quick start or browser example to jumpstart your next project. You can also choose to include Popper and our JS separately. So this is how that works. So that is that for that. Now we are done with this part. Let's close them. So that is that for this. Now let's move to the next part. It says create your first web page with Bootstrap 5, then add the HTML5 doc type, which is Bootstrap 5 uses HTML elements and CSS properties that require the HTML5 doc type. Always include the HTML5 doc type at the beginning of the page, along with the language attribute and the correct title and character set. Then for the Bootstrap 5 is a mobile first. Bootstrap 5 is designed to be responsive to mobile devices. Mobile first styles are part of the core framework to ensure proper rendering and touch zooming. Add the following tags with the elements. After this width equals to, we have this part in our this thing. This is it. This is that part. So it says adding that part sets the width of the page following to follow the screen width of the device, which will vary depending on the device. Then the initial scale part sets the initial zoom level when the page is first loaded by the browser. Then we have the container. That is, Bootstrap 5 also requires a containing element to wrap site content. There are two types of container, which I will explain much better. We have the container and we have the container fluid. The container classes provide a responsive fixed width container, and the container fluid class provides a full width container spanning the entire width of the viewport. Okay, so that's all about that. Thank you for watching this video. Please do well to follow us across all socials at Tech Academy. See you next time. Bye.